What up, everybody? Welcome back to JayFabe Wrestling, and now we're finally rebooking WrestleMania 40. So this happened last year. WrestleMania XL is another name. It took place on April 6th and 7th. Night 1, attendance was around 60,000. Night 2 was also around 60,000. This was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the Lincoln Financial Field. Combined attendance was around 120,000. Yeah, let's get into the card right now. So the first match we got for the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley defeating Becky Lynch. Next match, we got a six-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. We have A-Town Down Under winning the Smackdown Tag Team Championships and Awesome Truth winning the Raw Tag Team Championships. They defeated the Judgment Day, who were the champions. DIY, the New Day, New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And then we got Rey Mysterio and Andrade defeating Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominick. Mysterio. And in brother versus brother, we got Jey Uso defeating Jimmy Uso. And in a 6-women tag team match, we got Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi defeating Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. And then for the Intercontinental Championship, we had Sami Zayn defeating Gunther to end his historic reign. And in the main event of Night 1, we got the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns defeating Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And the match was the stipulations: if Cody wins, Bloodline will be banned from ringside. But if Rock and Roman win, it would be under Bloodline rules. So yeah. And then Night 2, we got Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then right after, we had Damian Priest cash in on Drew McIntyre. Then we got The Pride, Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford defeating the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and AOP in a 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight match. Bubba Ray Dudley was a special guest referee. Then we got LA Knight defeating AJ Styles. And then we got for the U.S. Championship, Logan Paul defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. And for the WWE Women's Championship, Bayley defeating Io Sky. And then in the main event, Cody Rhodes defeated Roman Reigns to win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So yeah, guys, obviously this took place last year, so it's so fresh in our memory. There's just a lot of controversy with the booking here with The Rock. You know, it was supposed to be Rock versus Roman. Then it was Cody versus Roman. Then it became back to Rock versus Roman. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things here that, you know, kind of... People that, like, it made some cool TV, but it was just a little bit confusing in my opinion. And I wasn't really a big fan of the tag team match here just because, you know... I don't know. I just felt like Rock, he should be in a singles match, not a tag team match. This is my opinion. And I kind of refixed all that stuff last year, right? So I had Roman lose the belt. So Cody's already champion, so they don't need to do the rematch. So you'll see here that obviously I will have Rock versus Roman. But yeah, I think I did a few different things here to make the card a little bit better. Yeah, so some things I definitely kept the same. But some things I definitely changed. And with having Rock versus Roman on this show, it has an opening for a new WWE World Championship match here. And also, for some reason, John Cena wasn't on the card, but he was on the show. So I think he should have been on the card here. And yeah, just it did a few little tweaks here to try and make the show better. But yeah, a lot of the stuff I did keep the same because I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, let's get into my card, WrestleMania 40 right now. All right, so I'm going to do it again, splitting it by brand. Start with Raw. So for the Raw Tag Team Championship, I have the Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth. So I don't have the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. I have them already separated here. So we could do something different for each tag division here. So, yeah, obviously this makes sense where R-Truth, he was trying to join the Judgment Day. He had a lot of funny promos. where he was giving Damian Priest the money from the merchandise. He was adding himself to the shirts. He was constantly invading the Judgment Day's hangout spot. He even forgot Dominick's name, called him Dominick. So yeah, it had some fun there, and also you kind of have the Miz telling our truth that you're not a part of the Judgment Day. What are you doing? They're gonna turn on you, and they I think eventually did turn on our truth in a tag team match. They kind of beat him up. So yeah, then the next week our truth can say like he's really mad at the Judgment Day, and you know that they kicked him out, and then the Miz could come out and say, I got your back. This is awesome truth reunited. So yeah, we could have some good promos here, just some comedic ones where our truth still pretends that he's in the Judgment Day, but then he would start attacking them. So yeah, it can have some fun here, and I would give Awesome Truth the win, just like they won in real life, just because our truth, he really deserved a win here, and yeah, and Miz too, kind of like a we appreciate both of your work kind of reward here, because these two been putting in work for a while, and yeah, I think with the build it would be a good match, and obviously this will lead to Finn Balor and Damian Priest um, getting into some conflict. So yeah. All right, next match I have Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. So yeah, rather than have these guys in a tag team match, I just felt, the Awesome Truth and Judgment Day feud felt a little more personal here, and made sense to just book it one tag team versus another. I think this would be a fun match. It would be face versus face here. We could have Gargano and Ciampa, talk about their history and like if they want to team up or not. And Gargano kind of puts his hand out, and Ciampa kind of walks away. And then you can have a segment where Gargano's getting beat up by the Judgment Day, and Ciampa can come out and save him. And they're in a number one contenders tag match. They would lose to our Awesome Truth. And Ciampa looks mad, and he looks like he wants to attack Gargano, but he says, you know what, Johnny, I respect you too much, and that, we deserve a match at WrestleMania, me versus you. Let's show everyone on the main stage what we did in NXT. We stole the show, and yeah, we were better than the main roster for a few years. So yeah, Gargano could kind of think about it, because he doesn't want to trigger another Ciampa heel turn, but he says what, he accepts, and he's looking forward to the match at WrestleMania. So, and they can have a few tag team matches where there's some miscommunication and they lose, and they're like about to go at it on the go home show. They're like face to face, head to head. But then Ciampa puts his hand on, shakes his hand, says, "Good luck, and I'll see you at WrestleMania." So yeah, I think this would be a great match. These two had great matches in NXT, and it's about time that they show the main roster that how good this feud could be and how good their chemistry is on the biggest stage, WrestleMania. And I would actually give Ciampa the win here, and Gargano could shake his hand, because usually we expect Gargano to win, but I'll give Ciampa the win here, clean win, and they shake hands afterwards. All right, next up we got Andrade versus Dominick Mysterio. So simple build here. Dominic can try to recruit Andrade, and Andrade says he'll think about it. A few weeks later, Dominic comes again. He's like, I'll think about it. And then the final week, Andrade could say, you know what? I thought about it real well, and I do not want to team with you, someone who would disrespect a legend like Rey Mysterio, their father. And Dominic can be like, all right. And then the next week, Andrade will be in a match, maybe like a number one contendership for the IC championship. And you could have the Judgment Day screw Andrade and beat him down. And yeah, Andrade can, like, there could be a segment where he's calling Rey Mysterio. He's like, I want your permission to beat your son's ass at WrestleMania. And Rey's like, yeah, man, go for it. He deserves a beating. So yeah, rather than mixing the tag team matches here, they're also on different brands as well. And I still felt like Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, that was like a very personal feud. And it should be one-on-one. So I think this would be a good showcase for Andrade. He just returned. And also Dominick Mysterio. He deserved his own match. I think he did definitely, with all the work he's put in, he was definitely one of the biggest heels in the company. So yeah, this would be a great match here. And I would give I guess I would give Dominic the win. Maybe JD McDonough could like give a distraction for Andrade, and Dominic could kind of like go for the roll up and hold on to the ropes there. So yeah, this will be a really good match though. And Dominic can kind of get his win back after losing to Rey Mysterio last year. All right, next up we got Rhea Ripley defending the Raw Women's Championship, or the Raw World Championship, whatever you want to call it, against Becky Lynch. This is the match that really happened. So yeah, Becky could win the Elimination Chamber just like she did. Rhea Ripley can defeat Nia Jax at the Elimination Chamber, and then after the match, Becky could come out and they could have a nice showdown there. And yeah, the promos could be good. Becky could talk about how she doesn't we need no man like Dominic or the Judgment Day because she is the man, and then she's gonna prove to Rhea Ripley that this is still her division. And Rhea Ripley could talk about how she's run the division for a year. What's Becky been doing? She's been playing a mom. She's been a part-time wrestler. So yeah, Rhea Ripley can throw some shots at Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch can say, you know what, I earned that, and I'm gonna prove to you that this is still my division, whether I'm here part-time or not, whether I have a kid or not, whether I'm old or not. This is still my division, and that you should appreciate what I've done for you, Rhea. And yeah, can get personal as well. Rhea can talk about how Becky Lynch, she's great, but look at what she's done compared to Becky Lynch, and that Becky Lynch did help the division, but Rhea Ripley has made the division even better, must see TV. So yeah, they can have a few brawls here, and yeah, again, some fun promos. The man is always on top. She could say that to Rhea Ripley, because usually, and Rhea's like, no, you're wrong. Mommy's always on top. I'm going to prove it to you at WrestleMania. Yeah, and these two had a great match at WrestleMania. And Rhea Ripley won clean, I believe, and I would keep that the same. Rhea Ripley could get the win, kind of like a passing of the torch moment. Becky giving it to Rhea Ripley, and yeah, good match. All right, next match we got for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Chad Gable. So yeah, we have the history of Gunther versus Chad Gable on Raw, where Chad Gable nearly won in front of his family, and Chad Gable would win the number one contenders gauntlet match here. And then Gunther could talk about how, Chad, you should back out of this fight because do you want to disappoint your family again? And Chad Gable can snap and put Gunther in an ankle lock before Ludwig Kaiser comes out and makes the save. And yeah, just have some good promos about Chad Gable, talking about, how he's always been an underdog in the WWE and they never took him seriously, and that he's looking for that first singles title win at WrestleMania. And he says he can't let his family down again. He would be a terrible father if he did that. He could even talk about like that. And Gunther could say, you are a terrible father. You let me embarrass you in front of your family. Could have some beatdowns. Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther could beat down Chad Gable. But also, Gunther, he has another match. I'll get to that later. So Chad Gable could say, I think you're a little preoccupied with your other match, which I'll get to later. So, and then when Gunther's focusing on his other match, Chad Gable could come from behind and attack Gunther. So, yeah, these two had great chemistry on their Raw match, and I think they would have, again, even greater chemistry on the grandest stage of them all. And I would have Chad Gable get the win here, and be a feel-good moment for sure. He definitely deserved it. The fans are actually cheering for him over Sami Zayn to get the title shot, so I think this helps both him and Sami Zayn, where Chad Gable gets what he deserves, and people stop kind of hating on Sami Zayn for getting the title shot. So feel good moment at WrestleMania, but this is not it for Gunther. He has another match I'll talk about later. All right, next match we have Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. So I believe in December, Drew McIntyre attacked Sami Zayn and injured him, and then Sami Zayn returned at the Royal Rumble. I would have Sami eliminate Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. So I wouldn't have these guys fight on Raw. I know they had a few Raw matches as well, but I wouldn't have them fight on Raw. Just have Drew take out Sami Zayn in December. He says, that's for teaming up with the Bloodline and screwing me, and I'm gonna get my revenge on all of them. So yeah, and then Sami could make his return at the Royal Rumble. I believe he was number 30 at the Royal Rumble, and he would eliminate Drew McIntyre. And yeah, the feud could be very personal, where Drew McIntyre's he keeps hunting down Sami Zayn. He's screwing him out of number one contenders matches against Gunther, maybe at Elimination Chamber. It's Sami versus Gunther. Winner gets the World Heavyweight Championship shot. Drew McIntyre can hit the Claymore on Sami Zayn when he's about to go for the hell of a kick. So that's a good way to really kick off the feud. And then yeah, they could just have some good promos. Sami can talk about how Drew's been bitter, but instead of being bitter and moping, and focusing on the past, she should be like trying to win a world title in front of fans. He could throw some shots there like I did last year, and Drew could say, you know what, tell me how you worked for the Bloodline, and then you actually you got the title shot. Like, how does that make sense to me? This is Drew McIntyre. I've been screwed. I won the world title during a pandemic. And yeah, Sami could say, you know what, Drew, just stop complaining and fight me at WrestleMania. And Drew's like, yeah, I accept, but in one condition, street fight. So yeah, they have a lot of brawls here, make it very personal. Drew could talk about Sami's family and how, he's a disgrace that he even like try to work for the Bloodline. And yeah, it'd be a good match. And I would also have CM Punk be on commentary here, because Drew's also talking smack about CM Punk because he's the one who injured him at the Rumble. And yeah, Drew could be going for the Claymore. CM Punk can come off the commentary, hit him with the brace, and then Sami could hit the hell of a kick in the corner. And yeah, this would be a really good personal match, and Sami gets the win. All right, next up we got Jimmy versus Jay, brother versus brother, Uso versus Uso versus Uso, Bloodline versus Bloodline. And yeah, a lot of this feud I keep the same. I would actually have Jimmy ask Roman, let me move to Raw. Because remember, Jay moved to Raw to get away from the Bloodline. So Jimmy's like, let me move to Raw and let me, handle my business by myself. Roman's like, go for it. So Jimmy's announced as the new signee for Raw. So now they're both on Raw. And I would have Jimmy do the same thing. He cost Jay the IC title match. Remember, he rang the bell and he screwed him there. So it was very personal. And then at the Royal Rumble, they're both number 1 and number 2. Jay Uso would eliminate Jimmy Uso eventually. And yeah, they could just, build for the feud where Jay doesn't want to fight Jimmy. Jimmy keeps egging him on. And then eventually Jay just snaps, hits the super kick on Jimmy. He's like, you want me at WrestleMania? You got it. So yeah, Jimmy could talk about, how he's always been the bigger brother and he's always had to control Jay Uso because he's a hothead and he's tired of taking care of Jay Uso. He's just gonna, beat the crap out of him to show him a message. And Jay could talk about how Jimmy's been jealous because I'm the only one who stepped up to Roman. I'm the only one who showed some heart, showed some guts. And I ain't no Roman Reigns lapdog. So yeah, they could get very personal. No Yeet versus Yeet. They could do a couple of those promos as well. Yeah, keep the match the same. I just wish they didn't do too many super kicks. They had a little bit more moves. I'll just have the booking on the match be a little different. But yeah, you got to give Jay Uso the win here. So yeah, should be, again, good match, good build. All right, next match, we got the WWE Universal Championship. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. So yes, like I said, Gunther had another match at WrestleMania, and this is the match. And I would obviously have Gunther fight on both nights of WrestleMania, but just because I'm speaking about the other Raw matches that have them here in the same kind of grouping. And yeah, I'd actually have Gunther win the Royal Rumble. And he would challenge Seth Rollins because he says Seth says he's the best wrestler. He wants to show him that this is not Monday Night Rollins. This is Gunther's show. And obviously, Seth is dealing with some injuries here, so Gunther can be a little preoccupied with Chad Gable. But Seth Rollins can cut some promos on Gunther and say, he respects Gunther and that, they're going to have a classic at WrestleMania, but he's going to burn it down and defeat Gunther at WrestleMania. And that, don't worry about your IC title match. Worry about the World Heavyweight Championship, the title you always wanted. Because if you don't focus on me, you're going to lose the match. And yeah, you can have some good beatdowns where Gunther's attacking Seth's leg because Seth is a little bit injured there. Him and Ludwig Kaiser can, attack them. Chad Gable could come out for some saves. So you can have a tag team match maybe with Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser versus Gable and Rollins if Rollins is still healthy. If not, then you can kind of just do a couple tag team brawls here and there. And yeah, a very straightforward feud. Gunther's looking for the world title. And Seth's a little bit injured, and he's a little worried because Gunther's. You don't want to fight Gunther when you're injured. Gunther can say, "You don't want to fight me when you're healthy. Imagine if you're injured." So, and yeah, I think they would have a really good match, and I would crown Gunther here. I didn't really understand why they waited to crown Gunther at SummerSlam. Gunther, he should have won here or at least in Berlin, which he also didn't win the belt there. So I would have crowned Gunther here. Seth is injured anyways, and it makes sense because he dropped the IC title, but on the same weekend he wins the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think they would have a great match. And yeah, Gunther definitely deserved this moment. All right, guys. Now we're gonna look at the SmackDown matches here. So for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, I actually have Karrion Kross and AOP defend against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So it could be AOP versus Street Profits, but they added Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley to the match. So you can have the Street Profits win the number of contenders match, and the next week, Karrion Kross can attack, and AOP can attack the Street Profits. Bobby Lashley can make the save, and yeah, eventually there's too many brawls going on. So Nick Aldis says, you know what, we're gonna have a 6-man tag team match. Karrion Kross and AOP versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So AOP's a little bit happy. He says, but the SmackDown tag team titles are also on the line. So yeah, we could have some good promos where Karrion Kross is talking about, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. They're all about money and business and looking good. But this is the real world where the evil, and the power, take over. And yeah, and Bobby and the Street Profits are talking about how, they don't care about no evil. They don't care about no final testament because they got pride. We look good, we smell good, we got money, and we're gonna prove at WrestleMania that that whatever these guys are saying is a bunch of crap. So yeah, and then you can have some fun with Paul Ellering and B-Fab and Scarlett doing some side beefs here. So yeah, I think it'd be again decent match, good match, and I would have the Street Profits and Bobby get the win. Bobby could actually maybe pin Karrion Kross, hit him with the spear, 1, 2, 3, and that helps Street Profits get the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. All right, next up we got the Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. So I was thinking if I should have the Women's Tag Team Championship match here, get rid of Naomi and Dakota Kai. But I think, Naomi just returned. She deserves to be on the card. And Dakota Kai as well. She's a big part of the Damage Control. So they definitely should be on the card. And I didn't want to do the 6-man tag match again for the tag team title. So yeah, just have a straight up six women tag match here. And the build is simple. Obviously, Bianca Belair's had too much problems with Damage Control, and Naomi can help her out, but it's still not enough. And eventually, Jade can come out and help them. So yeah, it could be just a good match here. You can even have some promos with Bailey where Naomi's trying to because she's friends with Bailey, get Jade Cargill to help her out in the matches here. in the brawls. So yeah, you can have some good tension there. But eventually, Jade Cargill and Bianca, they're cool with Bailey, and yeah, it should be again. They had a good match here. Good showcase for Jade. Good showcase for Naomi and Bianca as well. And Damage Control, they've been doing a lot of work, great work past year. So and keep everything the same. The match was solid, match was decent, and Jade, Bianca, and Naomi get the nice feel good win. All right, next up we got Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar, and keep the build relatively the same here. Uh, Santos Escobar turned on Rey Mysterio, I believe, because he got the U.S. title match over him, and he also kind of screwed him. He gave was it Logan Paul the brass knuckles, so Rey could lose the match. So and then he also injured him. I forgot how he injured him, but he definitely did injure him for a while. So Rey was off TV, and then Santos was feuding with Dragon Lee and beating him, stealing his mask. So yeah, simple feud here. Santos is calling out Rey. He says, "Where you at?" He has Rey's mask to. I believe he took his mask, so he could do promos wearing his mask, saying, "Rey, where you at? You know, you're a fraud. You say that you have all this heart, you have all this pride, and you're the greatest luchador of all time. But where are you?" And I believe Rey Mysterio did return and brawl with Santos Escobar. Then you could have the feud with the LWO and Santos's boys as well. So yeah, it could be a lot of good brawls here. Zelina Vega brawling as well with Elektra Lopez, and yeah, you can have different multiple tag team matches here, different singles matches here for the build, and you could even have Santos just talk smack, say Rey, he's always been a selfish person. He's never passed the torch. He doesn't even pass the torch to his own damn son Dominick, and at WrestleMania he's gonna take the torch and show that he's the best luchador of all time. So yeah. I think it'll be a really good match, and I would actually have Santos Escobar get the win. Maybe a little bit of help from Angel Berto, Elektra Lopez while they're brawling. Rey could get distracted and he could get the nice win. All right, next match we got for the SmackDown Women's Championship: Io Sky versus Bailey. Keep all the belt here the same. Io Sky is the champion. Bailey wins the Royal Rumble. Asuka also makes her return, and eventually Asuka joins Damage Control. And Bailey's a little nervous because she has ties with Io Sky and Kairi Sane. They're all Japanese, so obviously Bailey has a little bit of concern there. She could kind of overhear them talking about how Bailey's she's clueless and that she's a loser, and then eventually Bailey can do what she did, where she's like, "Oh, I heard you guys talking smack about me in Japanese," because she understands all that, and she has the bat out as well, and she says, "I challenge Io Sky at WrestleMania." So yeah, it could be very personal, where Bailey's talking about how she helped put this group together so she can put Io Sky and Dakota on the map, but they saw it as a way for them to take advantage of me and try to take my spot. And yeah, you can have some fun brawls where Bailey's fighting Dakota Kai, Bailey's fighting Asuka, and like I said earlier, Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. They could eventually have Bailey's back. So yeah, kind of evens the odds there. And they had a really, really good match here at WrestleMania. Keep the match the same. Bailey gets the feel good win. I feel like she's one of the stars who never really got a feel good win at WrestleMania, so she definitely deserves it here. And yeah, it's a great build to the end of the storyline of the Damage Control, and Bailey finally gets her reign as a SmackDown Women's Champion on the grandest stage. All right, next match we got the United States Championship. We got a ladder match. Yes, ladder match. So we got Logan Paul, the champion, versus LA Knight, versus Kevin Owens, versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. So yeah, just kind of merging two feuds in one. Logan Paul was obviously beefing with Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. KO got screwed by losing because of the brass knuckles. So yeah, they're kind of keeping that feud alive here. KO could eliminate Logan Paul at the Elimination Chamber, and then also LA Knight and AJ. They could have LA Knight eliminate AJ Styles from the Royal Rumble, and AJ Styles could be a little bit salty about that, and he could like attack LA Knight the next week on SmackDown. So yeah, and AJ Styles can talk about how he's put in all this work here. And someone like LA Knight, people cheer him over me. What has he done? And we could have a match between, let's say, Logan or Logan and versus LA Knight for the US belt, and then you can have AJ kind of interfere, and then you could also have Kevin Owens kind of interfere. So all four of them are brawling, and they make the match fatal 4-way for the US title in the ladder match. So there's no shenanigans going on. So yeah, you can have different tag team matches here. Logan Paul cut promos saying LA Knight, he's a wannabe celebrity. KO, you know look at what he wears, and AJ Styles. I respect you, but this is my time, and I could do some promos on everyone talking smack, and Kevin Owens as well, and even AJ Styles. These guys are all good promos. They could just be talking trash about each other, and yeah, each week. Each one of them could like kind of hold the U.S. title up after a brawl. So yeah, be a good match, and I would have LA Knight get the win. I feel like he should have won the U.S. title a little bit earlier, to be honest. He won it kind of late. So I feel like this would have been a great time to crown him. And a great moment. He definitely deserved it. All right. Next match, we got Last Man Standing, John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. So obviously, if you guys remember, John Cena lost to Solo Sikoa. I believe it was on Crown Jewel. I don't remember. But so yeah, the bloodline could be talking, and John Cena could come out, and Roman could be laughing and says, "Why are you here?" And John Cena says, "I want to get revenge on the bloodline, and specifically Solo Sikoa. I'm calling you out 1-on-1 at WrestleMania." And Roman's like, "Yeah, go get him, man. Go get him. Why not? You could beat him." And Solo's a little nervous. He's like, "Yeah, I accept." And Cena says, I want a last man standing match. And this won't be the first time I beat a Samoan bulldozer in a last man standing match. They're talking about Umaga. So yeah, that can kind of struck a chord with Solo Sikoa. Say, "Don't speak about my family." John Cena says, "No, I had a lot of respect for Umaga, but for someone like you, I don't. Umaga didn't take orders from, some guy in their family. He was the man." So yeah, they could have some cool brawls here and there where Cena and Solo are going at it. And Solo says, "You know what, I'm gonna handle John Cena. I don't need no help." So yeah, that kind of keeps Solo occupied here. And yeah, I think it'd be a great match. Cena had great chemistry with Umaga. I think it'd be just as good. You could have the fun table spots where Solo's going for the splash. And I would actually give Solo the win here because, we're trying to build him as the next tribal chief. So Solo could get the clean win, last man standing match, hit the Samoan spike 3 times. Cena can't get up. So yeah, we're building stars here. And yeah, John Cena definitely deserved to be on the card. He was there anyway. So I think it would be a good match. All right, next match we got for the WWE World Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Yes, so yeah, I would have Randy win the Elimination Chamber, and then obviously that makes a number contender to Cody Rhodes because Gunther chose Seth Rollins, and yeah, they could just have some good back and forth promos where Randy says, he's so proud of Cody Rhodes, and how he, came from legacy to become the WWE champion. And Cody says he appreciates Randy Orton for helping him, for choosing him to become a part of legacy, and helping him build his own legacy. So they can embrace and have some cool moments where they're in tag team matches here. But one time, there could be like a mistake. Cody could go for the disaster kick and actually hit Randy Orton. And after the match, they still win. Randy could like go for the RKO, but he stops. He says, "You know what? I have too much respect for you, Cody, and that I'm a strike, and you'll know it." So yeah, then they could get a little personal. Or Randy says, "I said all these nice things about you, Cody, but to be honest, I still think I'm better than you because I'm the man. I'm the one who taught you a lot of things. And Cody says, he respects Randy, but he has to prove to Randy that he'll win. And after that, they'll still be great friends Then he says, I offer a handshake that we'll still be great friends. And bang, RKO. But Randy doesn't turn heel. He just says, he just had to send a message to you, Cody, and that he wanted to ensure that, we're not friends at WrestleMania. So Cody says he respects that. And then, a few more weeks of tag teaming here. Cody could hit the crossroads on Randy Orton and says, hey, payback's a bitch. So yeah. And then they could actually end go home SmackDown having a brawl here. So that'll be nice. And I think this would be a really good match to history here. And obviously, I have Cody as champion because he won last year. So I think this would be the right way to go here. And I would give Cody the clean win after the match. Randy could shake his hand. No crazy heel turn here. And Randy kind of endorses Cody as the man. All right, guys. Now we're here in the main event. Roman Reigns versus The Rock. The best kept secret. um, yeah. The Rock could return. And he says, where does The Rock like to sit when he eats? Is it the booth? Is it the bar? Or is it the head of the table? And Roman Reigns can kind of hear that and kind of laugh at that. And, says and then at the Royal Rumble, because I don't have Roman as champion, right? Um, you know what? I maybe would have the rematch, maybe The Rock, not The Rock, Roman Reigns versus Cody at Royal Rumble. So Roman is about to win. He's got help from Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and then have Jey Uso come out, kind of even the odds. And then The Rock could come out and help Cody Rhodes win. So I'll actually have The Rock as the face here. I don't know. I just felt like just the way, obviously, how it turned out in real life, Rock kind of had to go heel, but I think here Rock could still go face. And eventually maybe Rock can turn heel for the next year, and Roman could turn face, maybe like a double turn, something like that. But yeah, Rock screws Roman Reigns, and then Rock can cut a promo and talk about how Roman Reigns talks about tribal chief this, head of the table this, but what about me? You're disrespecting my family. You're disrespecting the greats that came before you: Yokozuna, Umaga, Rikishi, the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika, and yeah, Rock can have like a very passionate promo where like there's no head of the table in our family. Um, and if there was a head of the table, it would be me because I'm the most electrifying superstar in the WWE. Roman Reigns can come out and say, go back to Hollywood, man. Um, you know, while you were in Hollywood making movies, I was here beating world champions. I was here winning world titles. I was here having the longest title reign in history in the modern era. So yeah, you can have some good promos here, very personal. You can even have The Rock say, yeah, you did all that, but would your parents be proud of you of how you did it? So it could be very personal there. And Roman Reigns can talk about how at least he didn't sell out to Hollywood. He he was born to be a wrestler and he still is a wrestler. And Rock could be like, yeah, just because you can't act as well as me, if you would have been out of here as soon as you can. So yeah, you can have some very personal promos, some brawls here. You could have Roman attack The Rock with a belt. At the end, they can kind of be brawling over the Ulafala, and at the end, let it go home show. Roman says, you will acknowledge me, and he after he beats down The Rock and puts the Ulafala on. So yeah, I think the build would be good, and I think the match would be really good here. And you just give Roman Reigns a clean win. Rock can be going for the people's elbow. He gets caught into the spear 1 through 3. Roman wins. After the match, The Rock shakes his hand and endorses Roman once again. And then he hits Roman with the rock bottom and he turns heel. So that's how I would book it, guys. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the card. All right, guys. So let me just run down why I think my card is better, just as good. So some things we kept the same. Obviously, Rhea versus BeckIy kept that the same, and Jimmy versus Jay kept that the same. The 6-man tag team match, uh, I kept the same with Final Testament versus the Pride, and the 6-woman tag team match I also kept the same. So and Bailey versus Io Sky. So a lot of the good things at WrestleMania I kept the same here. Um, there's a few changes. First off, having Gunther in 2 matches, I think definitely elevates the card because Gunther versus Sami Zayn was very good. But I think Gunther versus Chad Gable would be just as good. And then Seth versus Gunther, I think, would be just as good as Seth versus Drew. But then we also have Sami versus Drew, which I think would be just as good as Gunther versus Sami. So just a few tweaks here and there, but I just think it made a little more sense to have Chad Gable win the IC title just because the momentum he had, and then have Gunther win the world title at WrestleMania. I think he deserved it in the grand stage. And then Sami versus Drew's, it's more of an organic feud that can climax at WrestleMania as well. And then had for the Raw Tag Team titles, I think Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day would be a bit better just because, it's a little more personal feud here rather than like throwing all these tag teams in the match. And then that leaves room for Gargano and Ciampa to steal the show, obviously their history. And then split the tag match there. Andrade versus Dominick, give Dominick his own showcase. And then Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. Again, that feud deserved a one-on-one match just because how personal it was. So I think that definitely improves the card. And then having the ladder match for the U.S. title instead of the tag title, I think is better because it's less clutter there. And all four of these guys, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, LA Knight, oh man, these guys have a lot of athleticism and they can do a lot of great things. Having John Cena on the card is definitely a plus. Him versus Solo, last man standing. And then Cody versus Randy because I have The Rock versus Roman. I can do another big match with Cody. Cody versus Randy, their history there definitely makes sense. And then I think having Rock versus Roman on this show definitely makes the most sense here, especially how I booked last year. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'm gonna run down through all the matches right now. All right, here are the matches from Raw. For the Raw Tag Team Championship, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth. Battle of the DIY, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Andrade, Cien Almas versus Dominick Mysterio. For the Raw Women's Championship, Mommy Rhea Ripley versus the man BeckIy Lynch. For the Intercontinental Championship, the Ring General Gunther versus Chad Gable. Brother versus brother, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre in a street fight. And for the World Heavyweight Championship, the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins versus the Ring General again, Gunther. And here are the matches from SmackDown. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, 6-man tag team match, The Final Testament, Karrion Kross and AOP versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. 6-woman tag team match, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bayley. For the United States Championship, in a ladder match, Logan Paul versus LA Knight, versus Kevin Owens versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa in a last man standing match for the WWE World Championship. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare versus the Viper, Randy Orton. And in the main event, the battle for the Tribal Chief, the battle for the head of the table, the great one, the most electrifying man in WWE, The Rock versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think about the card. Appreciate all the support. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna have definitely more few videos here in upcoming weeks about Royal Rumble and fantasy booking WrestleMania 41. So appreciate y'all and catch you on the next one. Peace.